Hey YouTube believers, Chris Mack coming at you with Gunslinger Spawn number 2. This was a book that I did not expect to own. After I read issue 1, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I was just kind of, do I really want to stay on the Spawn bandwagon? Do I really care that much? And my local comic shop went ahead and threw in issues, I think 1 through 3, or 2 through 3 for me. And I gotta say, I'm glad that I stayed on point, because this was fun. It balances the right balance of seriousness and some zaniness in a not so LOL so random. It fits the character's persona instead of like, oh, we're going to talk about tacos and MySpace and Facebook, LOL so random. It doesn't do any of that. And it's a breath of fresh air, because I just recently dropped a lot of modern comics from my pull list, because a lot of the directions that the main two like superheroes, Marvel and DC are going, I don't care. But this was fun. So let's talk about who created this. This is Todd McFarlane's script and plot, Brett Booth art, inks Adalso Corona, colors Andrew Dahlhaus, lettering Tom Orzanowski, and there's everyone else working on the book. Now, spoiler alert, I didn't want to spoil issue 1 when it came out because it was fresh, people were excited about it, so I didn't want to spoil the ending of the main plot. But Gunslinger Spawn has been thrust into the present instead of the Wild West, and he's met this young boy named Bartlett, and you come to find out that the Bartlett family is a long-standing in this city that he's, or town, what have you. And this kid, which I cannot remember his real name off the top of my head, but his last name is Bartlett, and he's kind of seems like a young, like little punk. You're just kind of like, wow, I hope this kid gets his butt kicked. But then you find out that the reason he's a troubled youth is he tells Gunslinger Spawn in the initial issue, my dad doesn't let me come home until he picks me up, so I have to find ways to pass my time, and that's how he kind of falls in with the rough crowd. So when he finally gets to come home, you see his dad dealing with the Redeemer angels, and that's where this book picks up, is this big fight ensues, and the artwork is just spot on. Like, if this book can keep up this type of energy, I could see it going for a while, but sadly, other creators start to be like, well, I want to go on this project, and then the book starts to falter, because then they just kind of put in fill-in artists who just want to, get the job done and move on. I could tell right now this creative team, particularly Todd McFarlane, because, Spawn's one of his longtime creations, and he cares about it. Right now he has Spawn, King Spawn, and Gunslinger Spawn, and from what I understand, all 3 books are doing very well. For me, the main Spawn, there's just so much that's gone on through the years that I've kind of dropped it, but King Spawn and Gunslinger Spawn are definitely a breath of fresh air. And the ultra-violence, man, if you want some action, oh my god. Now, also, the use of dialogue boxes. It starts off here, it says, inside his jacket liner, Gunslinger grabs the tools he needs to deliver his death blow. And then we pull out, and as you can see, not massive amounts of dialogue boxes. He just says, didn't plan on your kind being here. I came looking for Bartlett. He's the one I'm after. So I suggest you pick up your things and leave. Otherwise, we finish this. And Gunslinger Spawn kind of reminds me of Old Man Logan with the mannerisms. And I think, well, I can't remember his real name, the original origin of him. Speaking of which, if you do want to read the original origin, I went online looking for those books. No. It's like in the $100 to $200 range, and I'm just like, I don't need it that bad. But still, I don't know. You would think, sorry, I know this is kind of random, but it's just, you would think this gunslinger with this big-ass goofy hat like that would be silly, but no. It is just pure fun, pure action, great stuff all around. As I said, artwork is on point. As you can see, there's not all this chattiness that a lot of modern comics have, where it seems like every panel has to have a dialogue box. This is not that. This is visual storytelling, show don't tell. And then we kind of get to that impasse that a lot of action movies have, where one of the angels grabs the boy, drop your weapon or the boy dies. Go right ahead. I don't give a shit about that boy. But from where I'm standing, I'm guessing you care about this one. And I like that, just with a few dialogue boxes, it explains what happens when, in this universe, where you tear angel wings off. And that was something that I had to kind of get over, is before Gunslinger Spawn came out, and I'm sure this was kind of talked about through a lot of the Spawn books that I've missed through the years, but, you know, how Supernatural got to be a whole lot of, instead of just being like a Monster of the Week type serial story that you would enjoy, this kind of, it started becoming always heaven and hell, heaven and hell, heaven and hell. I think that's where Supernatural for me just kind of wore me out. So coming back in here and seeing, this has been a staple of the Spawn universe, but I think I needed to step back and just kind of detox from all that. Because as you see here, he's basically saying, I tear one wing off, she's not going to be able to fly. I tear the second one off, she'll go insane and they'll die. Now release the boy. And so it just, this little back and forth is just really interesting. And then when you think everything's kind of calm, more happens. Again, going back to spoilers, I don't know if I said this, but Bartlett's dad, he's making like these deals with the Redeemer angels. And that's why the son can never come home. And so you see that he's, the boy, which if y'all can remember, I can't remember his name. If y'all could help me out on that, my brain just went, it took a vacation. But the way the tension arises between father and son, because he starts saying, did you kill mom? Is that why she never calls or writes? And it's a very heartbreaking moment that this boy comes to the realization that his father is in a league with everything that's going on, and that the only person that's saving him is this entity from hell. And just look at this artwork, these splash pages, man. It just gives back those 90s vibes, but it's not cheese like the 90s was. This is just full on like, holy crap, what am I looking at? So again, the story, very straightforward, heartbreaking, lots of great elements that you need in a story. People break, get rebuilt. And now, after you've had that emotional journey, Taylor, that's the kid's name. I just happened to see a dialogue balloon. So you see Gunslinger Spawn going, Taylor! He rushes to see what new attack is upon them. What's up? What's this? What are you talking about? This, why is it here? Because it's a toilet. I'm not stupid. I know it's a toilet, but what's it doing inside the house? It's where we go pee and poo. You do your business in the house? What about the smell? Why do you want that inside? And he's just like, it doesn't smell. Well, it does, but you just turn on a fan. And he's like, I don't understand. Why do you want your house on top of an outhouse? What happens when the hole you dug gets full? You flush it away. Where'd it go? So, again, I laughed because think about it in the context of the story. Yeah, it's kind of random, but in a way it's like comic relief. It gives you a, after everything that just happened in the book. And again, this is another man at a time. This is back in the day when you had to dig a hole or you had the outhouse outside and, anyway. So this to him is just like a modern marvel. He's like, the city collects people's shit. That's what your government does? I'm done with this conversation. And speaking of flushing and poop, the way the story ends, like the period of the issue, it ties everything up in a nice little bow. I'm going to leave it at that. A great emotional roller coaster story ended with some toilet humor. How much more do you need? Oh, I had a lot of fun with this book. Artwork spot on, storytelling. I can't say it was like spaturbed. That's going to be a new word. Superb. No, I'm going to say spaturbed. Or subturd. Anyway, you can tell that I'm half asleep here, guys. Excellent book. Highly recommend it. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and pick up a copy. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate it if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you won't mind hitting that fancy little gunslinger bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope y'all continue to have a fantastic day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.